you're going to be comparing these, so pay attention to the flavor. This is Kolsch #1. This is the Nunny Kolsch. And obviously, whichever one, you're going to rate these all after you're done. And whichever one gets rated highest, that's one I'm going to make 12 months out of the year. Dan Woodske, owner of Beaver Brewing Company, owner, marketing person, delivery person, brewer, everything kind of in between like that. There's no technical classification for Nanobrewery by the Brewers Association. I like to kind of think it's 3 barrels or less of beer at a time per batch. Barrel of beer is 31 gallons, so 90 gallons or less kind of in a batch. My system's actually 55 gallons that I have, so it's a barrel and a half. This is pretty much probably as small as a commercial system as you can get. I'm sure there are smaller ones out there, but not many. Like I said, it's a nano brewery. That's kind of the word out there for breweries that are, even smaller than the micro brewery. And this is pretty much as caveman as you can get it. It's that over and open natural gas flame. That's how it heats up. And it's kind of all right here. I tried to have 3 very different types of beers, so it kind of meets everybody's needs. And I ended up with chamomile wheat, which is a wheat beer with chamomile in it. Basil beer, which is an amber ale with a pound of fresh basil in it. Basil really pairs well with beer. When you cook with basil, it's actually, if you ever grabbed some fresh leaves of it and took a bite out of it, it has a little bit of a bitter flavor. And, hops, bitter. Beer has a little bit of bitterness to it. So actually the basil really pairs well with it. The iPorter A is a mix of an IPA and a porter. Every month I try having a new beer on tap. I try doing styles that maybe people have never had before, so their canvas for taste is kind of blank.
I like porters and I like the IPAs, and it was a neat mix. I've never had I never had them together like that, so it works.
First weekend every month, first Friday and Saturday every month. Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. and Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can come in and bring up a growler, get it filled up. I prefer selling the beer that way because you can try every single beer here. A lot of the beer that I do, again, is different. The basil beer, while it has a pretty big following, there are some people who drink it are like, oh my God, that's basil, I can't drink that. So I really like people to come in here because, oh, you didn't like the basil beer? Well, here, try the chamomile wheat, try the Roggenator, try this Saison de Beaver. Try something a little bit different, and you might end up really liking it. I didn't go to a brewery school or anything like that. I was just kind of doing it at home, kind of perfecting stuff that way, and just kind of got to this and just said, hey, you know what? Why not do it a little bit bigger and see if there's a market for it, and see if people around here really want locally craft brew, because that's really where I think beer's kind of getting into. I think it's going to be less and less the national brewers and more regional brewers, and I think it's even going to go, the regions are going to continue to get smaller and smaller. I think you're going to see a lot of 1 to 10 person operations for breweries instead of 100 to 10,000 people working in a brewery. I think that's kind of where it's going to go, and it's kind of being local, understanding what the local flavor is, and trying to meet those needs. And I think it'll just, people really like the fact that stuff's local. That's kind of the new trend here, and I think that's really where beer's going to go. I really have plans of opening a brew pub at some point. I figure, if you can get a little bit of a following this way, instead of investing the money and buying a building and doing all that stuff with a brew pub, if I can do it this way, if it doesn't work, okay, walk away from it, you're fine. You get a brew pub, you got a building, you got some other stuff, so you're a little bit more invested into it. But I figure if you do it this way, get kind of a fan base that way, you can easily say, hey, well, don't come here next month, just go down the street to the brew pub, whatever it is.